some drinks, and I'm trying to. I have a hard time opening the
the things.
the cough drops, and I put them that night. I'm like,
I think.
I'm like, fuck it.
So just put them in a fucking bowl like
But
Grandma
then,
did.
Last night, you know what? Great idea. What? I'm an idiot.
Just go to fucking Grandma's house and get a bowl and put them in there like those strawberry.
And just. Welcome back to Sandy Hahn Podcast, episode 73, with my good friend Jason Burchaski, aka DJ
Grandbag.
Grandbag?
That's part of the story.
Grandbag.
That's me.
And we're going to learn about that. Few things first. The second thank you episode will be coming out shortly. We literally just finished it. There's been so many edits, and I apologize, but it's going to be coming out, and it's going to be cool. And so we've missed a few weeks, so we're going to catch up, and I think we're going to try and start doing 2 a week.
You got enough talent.
And there's not. I'm not going to be golfing
That's true.
for a while.
That's true.
And I got a ton of people want to come on. There's going to be so many cool guests. I'm so excited. And so we're going to get that one out. Thank you one. And then hopefully I have one out tomorrow or soon with the Lawrence girls. And then Jason's out soon. And I got 2 more coming next week. So we'll be caught up, and then we're going to be shooting for 2. So
You're the person that you forget to thank. They get their own podcast. That's the rule.
okay,
I think.
I'm okay with that. So Jason and I have known each other a long time.
Yeah.
And have always been friendly, hanging out, having beers, and then started connecting more when he was watching my podcast and just making great comments and questions about who does it, and because he really liked the professionalism.
Absolutely.
Tyler, let's come with Tyler.
Tyler's got it going
I
on.
told him it's basically Tyler, a laptop, and his iPhone. And
There's a lot more wires over there, I think, though.
yes, oh, definitely. But it's all him, and he does great. He's very creative with the editing and adding stuff in. It's really cool. So it's worked out pretty phenomenal. This is 73 now.
Yeah.
And so his comments are great. And then I don't know if it was after the event or just before it, he sent me a very heartfelt message about wanting to try and come on and talk about what he's gone through, which we're going to get into. And it almost brought me to tears reading it. I'm like, hell yes, this is awesome. This is exactly the purpose of the podcast now. I mean, initially it was for me to make a memory for my daughter and my kids, my wife to remember by, because I thought it was fucked. And
No longer fucked.
Oh, I'm beating this shit, and I feel great, and I'm gonna live for a long time. I've been doing this, and so it's now become, it's a gift, and it's a message I want to give to other people to help them overcome anything that's bothering, whether it's MSA, which is a handful, but I've got people from around the world now watching.
Yeah.
And Australia. I'm gonna have him on soon.
You got to do from Australia?
Fucking cool. Zoom call, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's cool, though.
Or I'm sure Tyler wouldn't mind if we flew down there.
I went and I stayed there for a bit. I was in Sydney. Beautiful.
Were you really?
I was. There's a phenomenal story that my brother,
Please.
at the time, won a chance to go to Australia to see REM open their tour for Monster. So it was like, I think it was 94. if I'm not mistaken. Marty was dating this great girl at the time. Wins the tickets. They break up. And this was pre 9/11, so you could get a passport in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So he's like, you want to go to Australia and come see REM? I'm like, fuck yeah, I do.
Who does it?
Exactly. So in '94, I'm not doing anything. I'm between school and I think flipping pizzas somewhere at the time. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if I can't get the time off. Who cares? I'm just going. I'm going to Australia and I'm not coming back. How's that sound? So yeah. So it was amazing. REM was like the most boring part of the whole thing, and I love REM. Don't let Mark Lowry hear me say that, but I love REM. It was great, but 23-hour flight. I think we went to Chicago, caught a plane from Chicago to LA, and LA all the way to Sydney. It was supposed to be in Perth, and if it was in Perth, that was another like 12 hours. So I'm like, thank you for changing it from Perth to Sydney. One of my first flights ever been on. It was unreal, absolutely unreal. So went there on the first day, and me and Marty went to a bar, and I started playing one of those pit boss games, right? The trivia gambling games that they used to be popular in the 90s. And I'm playing blackjack on it, and I'm doing stupid bets, playing high-low and all this shit. And there's a crowd gathering behind me, watching me play this stupid game while I'm drinking beers with my brother. And I'm like, the credits are racking up. I keep on winning free games of whatever. And I asked someone finally, I'm like, I got to go. We're going to go back to the hotel. Do you want to play out any of the credits? And they're like, credits? What do you mean credits? That's money. There was $2,000 in that machine by the time I was done with it. And I was making the dumbest bets, high-low and everything like that. And these people are... I'm wondering why the crowd's behind me, like it's a sport of some sort. But yeah, I ended up the first day, I think first 2 hours I was there, I ended up making like $2,000 off this machine. And I think I was in the middle of a high-low at that point. And I think it's one of those testaments to say, if you don't know something, you're way better off. Because had I known that was actual money that was in there, I was broke, dude. I went there with like $80 in my pocket to Australia across the world. So I ended up walking out with $2,000, and I'm like, dude, how do I stop it? They're like, press right there. I'm like, okay, thank God, because I almost lost everything. You bet it all, man. Bet it all if you don't know any better.
Oh my God, that's freaking awesome.
So I ended up having a good time. There was a lot of crazy shit.
How long were you there?
It extended out a little bit. I met a fine lady that was over there, and we hit it off, and I ended up staying for a bit. And back then it wasn't cell phone time either, so it was like, hey, tell Mom I'll see her in a couple months. So it was basically I left the world for a while without any recourse. But it was
that's a great
in the 90s, do whatever the hell you wanted to do. I was young, I was stupid, and that's how things were. So Gen X, baby. Fuck it. That was the whole concept.
What a great story. God, I would love to have gone down there.
It just dumb luck. Absolute dumb luck. And then I won a trip to LA the next year to go see Blondie at the American Music Awards. And I didn't ask my brother to go. I took a chick. So I didn't. So I think he's still bitter about that.
I would imagine
that it was one of those things. But yeah, and we didn't go. And so I went to LA, took my girlfriend at the time, and ended up not going to the show because they said, again, the 90s, I don't give a shit. It was like 1995. And LA's cool. And I found out it was cool. They were like, well, you got to be here at the AMAs at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be an all-day thing. You're going to be here for 12 hours. And I was like, no thanks. I'm going to go to Disney. I'm going to go over to Universal. So we ended up spending, going to Universal Studios. Like there was this kick-ass magic place that I found that was just bizarre, that you had to be like a member and they let you in. I can't remember what the hell it was called, but look it up. LA, there's Magic Club, and it's weird stuff. So we found just all weird stuff to do in LA instead of sitting around for 12 hours waiting for
doing nothing.
And that was the thing. I think, and I sat there.
That sounds like a hell of a lot more fun than
absolutely
sitting around and to see Blondie.
And Blondie's cool, and I'm sure it was great.
They're cool, but
I'm not sitting 12 hours to see Blondie. And it's part of the thing with I have anxiety. I'm not going to sit around somewhere for 12 hours and be trapped in a place because I'll feel like shit. and I'll want to climb the walls.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. Yeah. So when I got back, the radio station kept on calling me back saying, "Why didn't you go to the show? Why didn't you go to the show?" And I'm just like, off. Because I had a good time, because you paid for me to go to LA for like 7 days, and I just wanted to party the whole time and see everything that I could. So, yeah, so I never won anything after that. Wow. I think that was karma biting me in the ass.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
So, what he told me, this message dealt with things like anxiety, and depression. And overcoming those to become a DJ. Especially if you're afraid to be in front of people. It's kind of hard to be a DJ. And other things that he shared, which I'll let him share. I'm like, fuck, yes, this is exactly the reason. And we were just talking beforehand. And we're like, God, we just blew all the good stuff for the episode. But
we wrote it all down so that you're talking about it again. But
we can start it over again because it's...
well, you're big into the mental health and the meditation and everything and just being well. And I think that I was unwell for so long that, I spent my teens through my 20s on every single drug that you could possibly be either self-medicating or medicated through a prescription. Paxil, Prozac, all the good ones, and then everything that would make you not feel shit.
I never got any of those good ones.
Oh my God!
I wanted them, but I think it's good when you go and say, you ask what you want.
So this is what I heard. This is good. Can you give that? No, that's not good for you though.
Yeah,
and I think that's the one thing that that got to me. I had the same doctor when I was from the time I was probably like 5 years old, and the doctor was always deciding, well, I want to put you on this, I want to put you on that. I'm like, but I don't want that. There's a thing called the internet now that you could look stuff up, and I think this fits me more. I live in my body. You don't. I don't know if you're pushing prescriptions or this is what you think is good for me. Here's what I think is good for me. So I eventually, it's a hard thing to do when you're in your 20s. I fired my doctor because I've seen him since I was 5. You have that trust build out with them and everything to do that. But I got tired of being put on every single drug possible. Well, let's try this. Why don't we try this and this? And then I was taking, almost at least 10 pills a day to actually not feel. And that's what it came down to be, because they said, well, you're fucked up, more or less. And I think when I say, well, you're fucked up, is there's a thing called suicidal ideation, which is something where you constantly think of killing yourself. And for no reason whatsoever. You could get bummed out, and then you're like, well, let me see. This guy did it like this, so let's try that out. And nothing ever came to... I was too much of a pussy to kill myself. I'm not going to... but the thoughts that were always there, and the thoughts always come up. And
did you ever get close?
Yeah. There were a couple times where it just got to the point.
I've said, which I shared in podcasts, that I felt so awful last summer.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live. I was close to giving up. I didn't, thank God. But what I went through, the pain I was feeling physically, mentally.
Right.
I understand why people would want to do assisted suicide.
Absolutely.
I would never
do
some graphic myself.
No.
And I never actually wasn't going to do anything, even assisted suicide. It's just, there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't do that. But I understood because of the pain I felt.
And that's physical. It's physical, it's emotional.
I was like, God, just take me. I don't want to live like this.
Plus your brain at that point. I mean, all the thoughts of...
The depression and anxiety were 10 times worse than the disease is what caused it.
Yeah.
And I never had it before. I had a pretty good life. Pretty spoiled. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Because we're men. And I think men have a more difficult time of coping with the fact that we live in that I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one that's providing for my family. And if we can't provide for our families, if there's something that comes in the way of doing that, you're going to feel pretty shitty because you're going to lose that kind of that sense of worth. And when you lose that sense of worth, saying, well, this thing is going to take this away from me, and my wife's not going to love me, or my kids are going to,
people aren't going to respect me.
Correct.
And that, I totally get that, because prior to me getting it, I was like, you hear about somebody, Kevin Love came out because of the expression. I'm like, oh, come on.
How many people,
Give me a
man?
break,
How many people were like that?
Because you're guys, you're like, get over it, snap out of it. And then I got it. And like, holy shit, this is real.
Kevin Love was one of the first ones that came out that said this, and I got the jersey at home. I still have it for his Cavs jersey and everything, because he was the one person I think people finally paid attention to that was a professional athlete or someone in the mainstream like that, was like a guy's guy kind of thing, that said that I got mental health issues, man. And people, again, when it first came out, they're like, dude, just get on the court. Suck it up. And I think that's what so many people take it. Yeah.
And then this happened. And I'm like,
and you're like, no.
I'll never disrespect anyone who says that anymore, because that was hell.
And that's all the advice people
have.
That's all people have at that point, is to tell you, like, suck it up. Tomorrow's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. And it's not. Because when you're sitting there, like, you can tell me that, and I know you have the best intentions in the world, telling me everything's going to be okay. But at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to live in this head.
What? So combine those thoughts with the fact that you were giving a terminal illness diagnosis, but there's no cure. There's nothing for it.
Yeah. So what does everything's going to be okay do to you? When I'm going to give you a pat on the back, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. No,
it's not.
You could be financially ruined. You could lose this. You could lose income. You could lose your family. You could lose everything else. And that's the spiral. That's where you go.
But it was, for me, it was meditation that saved my life. And I got rid of all that. I don't have any of that. No thoughts about that. I feel fantastic. Still physically have issues. But and let's talk. You were talking about your diagnosis, and
that was another hit to me too. So I got diagnosed with Meniere's disease, and that was the one that, and I was feeling better. Everything was getting pretty good. I had a great job. I was over at BOA, and I was making the decent money and everything. And then all of a sudden, shit started happening where I'm like, I'm on top of the world. Nothing can touch me at this point. And BOA lays off 2,000 people in Cleveland. Lost the job. Went there to get this great job. Be like, I'm going to rock it out. And so that hit. P.F. Chang's, my favorite restaurant. No offense, P.F. Chang's. I still love you. I got horrible food poisoning from eating some of their dumplings. Freak accident. I was sick for 2 days. I was in the hospital and everything else. So it was something else.
Did you get ice?
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. You can
Thank you, sir.
Put it in the Sandy Hahn.
Actually, you know what? Put some in that, or both. Little in that. We'll put his bud.
The buds.
Several, like 6 buds. Got to put come on, don't be a rookie. Put the buds in first. And then you put the ice on top.
Yeah, I got it.
And then same thing with some Coors Lights. You can bring those over here. And then you can put some in that. Actually, let's put the ice in that big cooler and just let it. And then
he's beating the shit out of it.
I know.
I love it.
That's good. That's how you do it. But then this is a good time to take a little break. Now if you do that, you get a cold beer. I gotta pee. All right, we're back from the pee break. Now we've got a cooler full of ice cold beer too, which is nice.
That's nice.
And Jason, we're
thanks for shaking for me too. I appreciate
Meniere's. What's that?
Thanks for shaking for me.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate it.
I helped the guests out, whatever they need.
It was good.
So the Meniere's, which
it's
actually there's some similarities.
There
You
are.
were telling me later, but because I'd never heard of it.
A lot of people haven't but it's coming out more because
Well, just
Huey Lewis was making his
had it.
big comeback. He was going to make his comeback doing the Huey Lewis and News tour, and he was diagnosed, and it was the same thing. It was like a tinnitus thing, so the ringing in your ears and everything. But he couldn't tour anymore because you're going deaf. That's the main thing. A lot of people get in. They like, if you're a singer, you're absolutely screwed because you need to hear
You got to
that.
hear.
And if you're not hearing that, you're going to sound absolutely horrible, flat, whatever. So for Huey
You're
Lewis,
going
I
to
think
sound like I sounded when I sang it.
you sounded beautiful, like a bird, like a bird. It was beautiful. But yeah, so he couldn't do it. Ryan Adams is another artist that
Ryan Adams?
Ryan Adams has it.
Oh,
as well. Ryan Adams,
Ryan.
yeah. The not Brian Adams, but the little guy Ryan Adams, who's a very popular artist. He's a country Americana kind of folk artist. Very popular. Played Playhouse Square. He plays venues like that size and everything. He has it as well. So it's kind of getting popular with people that are in the music industry. So it's the new tinnitus. So what it does, and I had to go to doctor to get diagnosed what the hell's wrong with me, because I had the first time I had it, I got incredibly sick. I thought it was an ear infection. They thought it was an ear infection. They had treated with me antibiotics, did all this crap with my ear, and go home. It's not any better. It hurts even more. My eardrum bursts. I don't know if you ever felt an eardrum burst in your life before.
Does not sound like a fun thing to go through.
It is not a fun. It's akin to if you ever had a kidney stone, but in your ear. So it's just it's incredibly painful and it doesn't stop, and it's bleeding and pus is. It's disgusting. It's disgusting and it hurts.
How long did it take for your symptoms started till they
figured it out? About 4 months. It took 4
All
months.
right.
So it wasn't that
I wouldn't
bad.
have it. Mine took 2.5 years.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sucked, but go ahead, sir.
So I noticed it more and more, and I always had the symptoms. So again, I had the symptoms for years. For them to finally figure it out to say, well, this is what it is, was about 4 months. I had always had migraines. I had always had headaches. I would always have tinnitus in my ear. I've always had equilibrium problems. This just made it worse. So as it progressed and as I finally figured it out, it's a balance control. It's a motor function skill thing. So once you have figured it out, then you got to figure out how to treat it, and you can't. So that's the thing. The
It's
bitch about
weird
this
that
disease.
there are a lot of similarities because, as far as me, the balance,
Yep. Yeah.
all kinds of other shit that goes wrong, and there's no cure. There's no real medicine for it.
No.
I take things to help with the symptoms, but there's nothing that's going to cure what I have.
No.
And I think you told me it's supposed to just keep getting worse.
Progressively
and
worse,
progress,
Yeah.
like mine is. I mean, I'm supposed to be dying like next year.
It's not going to
It
happen.
ain't fucking happen.
It's not going to happen.
I need to get you into meditation,
That's
and it's going to
it's going to clear
heal
everything.
your.
And I tried
fucking
everything. I
shit.
tried, acupuncture worked to a point. I think that medicine works the best, and I think there's a lot of chiropractors out there too that do. And I tried that route, and what they do is they take your head and they do it like that and do it. And I can do that. I'm gonna puke. Just so you know, so I can't do it. But when they do that, it's supposed to shake out whatever the rocks or the shit that's in your ears to
Do
come
you
out.
have a good chiropractor that you go to now? Because I'm looking for one.
I don't.
I had a great one.
I watch them all on YouTube where they're cracking backs and everything. I'm like, I don't want that to.
And I
it
need
scares the
that
shit out of
shit
me, but
because
it looks good.
I go to Stretch Lab,
Yeah,
which I love.
that sounds amazing.
And you got to try that.
You were talking about it.
Jeannie Fueling.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna promote her.
Mhm.
Coco Gerard got me in it. Jeannie Fueling, who's a wonderful person. Alex Norman, who I gave a shout out last time. I give a shout out again because he's amazing. I mean, he literally, because I'm loud, and I'm always
You said
I'm always stiff
Yeah.
everywhere except where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? and I'm just I'm like, oh, the fucking, and
Everyone else is looking around like, what the
they're
hell's
like,
going on
what
with
the
this
hell's going on? And he's not used to it, and the staff's used to it. First, they're like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
guy? Yeah.
And he finished and he kind of laughed because I always love when somebody new comes in who hasn't been here, and I've got you on the table. Because I'm just
Beating the shit
like,
out of you. That's what
I
it sounds
apologize.
like.
I'm sorry if I'm scaring customers away, but every time when I moan and groan, I'm like, I promise you, it feels good. It's just this what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
It's atrophy, where shit's like ALS. It's shutting down.
Yeah.
If I don't fight back and stretch and work out every day,
Yeah.
I feel it. So now I'm beating it. I'm getting better
Yeah.
because of all this. I'm not going to stop and golfing and skiing and doing podcasts
I had to laugh.
which is amazing.
I sent you the picture of the $2 skid. So I'm watching. We were fucking around watching the Ohio State game, and he's like, "I'm going skiing. I'm going to go skiing in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
You head out there." And I said, "Well, how that? Because I'm ignorant and I'm an asshole." I said, "How the hell are you going to do that?"
And I love that.
That's the beautiful thing. And I'm like, he's like, "Well, there's special things." I'm like, "So you're not going to be like the Better Off Dead kid that's fucking collecting the $2 for
I want
the
my
paper route?"
$2.
I want my $2. So it came on the other day, and I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to watch this. And I stopped the screen so I could take a picture. And when I sent it to him at probably like 11:30 at night, and I just get a fucking text back.
My ass up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to send. There's two really good texts he sent me. One was the kid from Better After the $2, which you and I got to go around and do trivia contests of movies and music.
Right.
We'd kill it.
We're going to make a circuit. They're going to kick us out. That's
He
what I
sent
said.
me a picture of the kid, the Better After that. I was laughing my ass off. And then he sent the one of the guy from Breaking Bad.
You're right.
The big black guy laying on the stack of money.
Deshaun.
And he goes, "This is Deshaun Watson." Waiting for watching the
the next 3 quarters of the game. Dude, he's a
my God.
What
It
a
was
bust. I saw that and I'm like, all right, well, yeah, Sandy needs this one.
Your creativity in that stuff is so perfect and beautiful. So those are the two pictures we shoot up there.
Absolutely.
And we'll do the music, which we'll talk about. But so let's get back to the
Meneers. So, all right. So you're the life of the party, right? I'm always out with the guys. I used to hang out with you guys playing darts and everything. Imagine playing darts the way you are now. Or imagine playing darts when your focal vision is completely gone. There's something in my brain.
Be good
with
dart league in the dumps of Cleveland, which I fucking loved.
It was amazing. We were playing darts at a titty bar for crying out loud. It was It
was so cool, but I couldn't even. So I have a dartboard.
Yeah.
And they put a chair for me to sit in when I'm playing. There's holes all over. There's a dartboard, and the thing protects it, and then I'm like,
that's where you hit.
I'm like, people get the hell away. I don't know where this is going, but
might be going backwards. We never know.
Oh, it was
fun. That's what I used to do. I used to be out all the time, and you would see me out all the time, and then this thing hits, and I'm already depressed, so you gotta come on out. We're gonna be at the Wood, or we're gonna be at Panini's or something like that, and I gotta sit there and think. I'm like, can I fucking walk? And because I didn't know how to handle it at the time, so I went from being the guy that would always show up, Mr. Reliable, to Mr. Where the fuck is he? Because I couldn't drive. Mm-hmm. You know, if I didn't know when it was going to hit, I didn't understand the disease. And I think that was the hardest thing for me was like, I'm feeling a little weird right now. So I don't think it's a good idea to go out and drink like 8 beers and hang out and then have this, you know, so it got to the point where, I stopped showing up for stuff. And I became Mr. Unreliable because of that, which threw me in the depression state again.
Which is what I did for years. I couldn't move out of bed. But so tell me how you got through it,
So
and how you doing now,
I learned more about
and
it.
how that affected your. He's a DJ, and we're
Oh,
about
shit.
we're going
Yeah.
to see something very soon.
I'm gonna
With
throw
him.
down.
Kicking it, from throwing down some shit.
This is my Grandbag jersey, as
Yes.
a matter of fact.
Oh, so
The
what's
45.
perfect time? It says Grandbag on the back of his Penguins jersey. So it's perfect time to talk about
music.
the story behind the Grandbag.
Oh, the All right, so
The story you tell, and then what's the real one? I haven't heard this yet, so we're going to hear it.
All right, so
Tyler hasn't either, so
the easiest one in the world, there was a band in the 90s called the Happy Mondays. Alternative band, kind of that Britpop sort of thing going on. They had a song called Grandbag's Funeral. So if anyone asks me and I don't want to get into the actual story, I'm like, named after that song. That's all it is. And it's basically about an old stoner that's a fucking loser and whatever.
Harmless.
So, harmless. So the real story,
get ready.
if you remember Cleveland in the late 80s, there was only one place you could go that was actually not full of prostitutes and drug dealers and pimps and everything. So you would go to the Flats.
I was there a lot.
That was it. So we had the idea, and I'm not a dope smoker. I'm not a pot smoker, and I think I have no problem with anyone that is. That's fine. You smoke pot, do whatever you want to do. But we had the great idea to go to West 25th, where all the drug dealers used to hang out back in the 80s. But West 25th was everyone looks at it now. It's like West Side Market, and there's all the great restaurants down there and everything. That Sam McNulty owns, like that whole entire block, and the brewery over there. Market Garden and everything. It was never like that in the 80s.
Oh, no.
In the 80s, it was
shithole.
a shithole with payphones that didn't have phones on it, and prostitutes and drug dealers and everything else. So my friends and I may leave their names out, and they know who they are if they listen to this. I don't want to incriminate anyone. We had the great idea to go get some weed down on 25th, and drove down there in this wonderful Jeep Cherokee, and I was apparently the spokesperson for the group to try to get marijuana, which I've never done before in my life. But they wanted to get weed. We were going to party, and we were going to be cool because we had weed. This was like 1989, 88 or 89, I think it was. So I was still in high school. So we proceed down 25th, and people knew if you were trolling down there, you were either looking for hookers or you were looking for drugs. So you would just stop, and one guy stopped at the car, banged on the car, and what are you guys looking for? What do you want? Like, I want a bag. We're looking for a bag, and he gets in the car. I'm in the back seat. I got my driver and I got my passenger over here, and I'm in the back seat with a drug dealer who happens to have one arm and is dressed like
Story keeps getting better.
Is dressed like a fucking pimp. So I called him he's the one-armed pimp. And we're looking for, he's like, you want the Grandbag? Do you want the Grandbag? And I'm like, yeah, I fucking want the Grandbag. Give me the Grandbag. And the guy proceeds to pull out a small bag of crack and another bag of cocaine. No marijuana to be found. This guy's just pulling out every fucking hard drug that you could find in the world. And I don't want to say his name. My buddy that's driving looks out he's like, get that shit out of the car. Get him the fuck out of the car. And he's like, you said you wanted the Grandbag. He's saying Grandbag the whole time. And I thought he was saying Grandbag, like I was going to get this giant
Gram.
So it was a gram of fucking cocaine. Instead of it being I thought he was getting a big bag of pot and everything. And he's like, get him the fuck out of the car. So I reach over to the thing and I fucking kick the guy out of the car. He rolls in the street. A one-armed pimp drug dealer is rolling in on West 25th Street, and my buddy just fucking floors it in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which goes probably 0 to 60 in about 8 minutes. So we're trying to get the hell out of the middle of the crack den of Cleveland at the time, because I thought he was saying that he was going to give me a Grandbag, because I didn't know what the fuck marijuana. I don't know what I'll take a Grandbag. I don't know what's called a nickel or a dime or whatever the hell they call it. I thought it was a big bag of fucking pot. So instead, he pulls out Grandbags of cocaine and crack and wanted to know what I wanted to have.
That is hysterical.
So they kept on calling me Grandbag for quite some time after that.
What a story. That is fantastic.
And that became my name because I do loads of cocaine. That's not true. This is not true.
I've actually never done cocaine.
It's
in my life. I kind of would like to, but I have a heart murmur.
You don't want that then.
So
Hey, Len Bias, easy over
That's,
there.
I say that. That's what I say. We're in college. I'm like, I'm being Len Bias. I'm going to do it once. I'm dead. I'm out.
That was it. That was
I
Len
sit
Bias
outside. My
was the
friends are going to
story.
get cocaine. I'm going to have a cigarette. So yeah, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing any of that. I tell everyone I did cocaine once for 8 months straight, and that was it. That was the only time I did cocaine, and I God, I'm glad my mom's not with us anymore to hear these stories. But yeah, the one time I got cocaine, I didn't know this was going to be the drug episode, but okay, here we are.
It is now.
So we're I was dating this girl. I met this girl. Her name was Kim. I'll name her. That's fine. I don't mind whatsoever because she got me into that crap. I was bartending at McCarthy's in Lakewood, and she's like, "Let's go get some coke." I'm like, "You have nice boobs. Okay, let's do this."
If I can see your titties and snort some coke off.
Oh, you
man.
gotta understand at this point. I think that was probably later '90s or something. But anything I learned at that point about drugs and drug culture was from Miami Vice. So I knew nothing of drug culture outside of tubs and
Crockett and
Tubs.
Tubbs.
Tubs. So that was it. So let's go get some cocaine. Yeah, let's do some cocaine. That's fine. We'll go get some. And we ended up going to a place that was called Lokio's. Used to be over by just east of 117th on Clifton. It was actually, I don't want to say it was a mob bar, but it was a mob bar. So it was like there was one of their last stand points at that point where it was, and it was an after hours club. So you go there after my shift was over at McCarthy's. Boobs McGee over there said, "Let's go get some cocaine." And I said, "Yeah, let's go get some cocaine," when I actually wanted to go to Michael's and get breakfast and not do cocaine. And we went over there. There's no cocaine there. Call this guy. Go get it. So an hour later, it's probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. We're in Coventry, which Coventry at the time also a complete shithole.
You're on the east side.
I'm on the east side. I'm going anywhere for her. I'm like, because I'm old school at that point. I'm like, dude, I do coke all the time. Let's go get it. Let's do it. And ended up at this complete dump, go into this apartment that was on top of like a wig shop or something like that. And go in the door. There's a mound of cocaine. You know how at pool halls where you have the chalk for your hands?
Scarface when he had it on his thing and just slammed his head into it.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. The guy had a pit bull with a muzzle on that wanted to kill me. You
weren't a little scared?
I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. But you're with a girl that you just met. And you're trying to impress
the girl. Who had nice titties.
You had nice titties, exactly. And you want to impress her. So I'm like, oh, this is nothing. I've been here before, as a matter of fact, with Mr. Chalk Hands for the pool cues to do it. So that was the one time that I did it. And then we eventually did the coke. And it was, no. So it was something that was just absolutely ridiculous. And I ended up seeing her for that stretch of time. And she constantly was doing coke because she was in law school and always, doing for finals and all that shit. So she was either hopped up on
Did she show you your titties?
Once. Just once. She showed me her titties.
Once?
Yeah. No, a couple times.
Okay.
Might have been a couple. So I have the worst fucking drug stories in the world. I should not be around drugs. Is basically what it boils down to.
Yeah, only thing I've done a lot of is weed. I did it so much. Part of the reason because it helped my nausea.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sleeping, so I was probably doing over 100 milligrams.
Like edibles and stuff, or
yeah. Every night I would do 2 32 milligram indica gummies, and some nights 4. After smoking weed, I did it so much. I actually have it's on my website, cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, another rare thing where you smoke too much or too many gummies. I was getting sick all day, nausea. It was horrible, so I had to stop. And thankfully, it's reversible.
Yeah,
if you stop, which they did. So
and
all
you
good
know what?
now.
I think that they talk about that for many years as well because it helps. And I'm like, I've had so many bad drug experiences that I don't want to do it anymore. I think the only thing that weed does, and it makes me paranoid. I think the first time I smoked weed, I was at the Agora, seeing the band The Church, under the Milky Way.
Yeah, I've never been to the Agora.
It's a nice place. I mean, it was dumpy then. I mean, there was another place. That
Actually, I
was
think
chill.
I did go there once to see Todd Rundgren.
I think he's played there multiple times. I think he likes
He's a
playing there.
fucking weirdo. I love his music,
Mhm.
but he played some weird shit.
Yeah.
None of his good shit, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But
That's stupid.
it's like a
That's why I got the
Classic
church. The
place.
church is like, it is a good place. No, and they fixed it up. It's really nice. I just went and saw Gary Newman, Ministry,
Cars?
and so on. Yeah, Cars. So and Gary Newman stole the freaking show. Ministry was
Really?
the headliner. He absolutely stole the show.
Ministry.
Ministry's just fucking headband.
Can you grab me
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
cooler, icy cold?
Let me get down.
Look at that one deep in there. Is that icy cold?
Head for the mountains, my friend.
Nice,
Head for the
buddy.
mountains.
Oh, that's cold. That's icy cold.
But yeah, one of the first times I'd smoked weed was at that church show. And again, there was a girl. She came up to me and said, "You want to smoke some weed?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah. I love weed. I eat it. I eat it for breakfast. It's my favorite thing to do." And proceeded to smoke a joint with her. And I was so excited to see the show. I love the church. I thought they were great. They're from Australia. They never come to Ohio. It's amazing. I can't wait to see them. They got a new album out. And proceeded to smoke a joint with this girl. Made out with her. 5 minutes later, I felt like shit was flying around my head. The joint was laced with something. I don't know if it was PCP. I'm not sure what it was. So I ended up seeing 2 songs of the show. Then I started puking. Then I sat over in a corner, huddled in a ball for the next 7 songs. And then I went outside and puked some more.
Jesus.
So marijuana and me don't mix.
good
Drugs
thing-
don't mix.
Don't ever buy marijuana off the streets down there now, obviously.
No.
You buy it from the stores now.
You buy it from
and
stores
it's
now.
powerful shit,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
it's clean. My trainer, Tanya Watkins. Hi, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
She used to date, years ago, I think, a cop. And he did a bust. This is probably at least 3 years ago. Huge thing of weed, stash of weed. 70% of it was laced with fentanyl.
See, that's the thing. I was just talking to my buddy the
So
other day.
I was telling my kids, don't you dare, because they're at college. I'm like,
I'm
don't you
afraid-
buy. They're all smoking weed, and I'm fine with that. But don't you buy it from someone.
Don't buy it from
I'll
a
get it for
one-armed
you.
pimp.
I'll get it for you because I had my license.
And that's what I
This
don't
shit.
understand. I'm like, why is everything laced with fentanyl at this point? And I said for your kids in college and everything else, I'm like, what conversation do you have to have with them? Be like, don't smoke weed from the one-armed pimp like Jason did. Get it from me. And I get that, but everything seems to be such a risk. We never had that when we were kids. Yeah,
No.
I got blasted with PCP. Fine, one and done, and it's over. I'm okay, right? No, I'm not. But still, but
That's
now
terrifying.
you could die smoking a joint.
Yes.
You could die smoking a joint, and it's not.
Has
It's not.
bunch of fentanyl in it.
I sound like Nancy Reagan. Don't smoke a joint. Don't smoke a
Just say no.
joint. Just say no. But it really is because
I was seriously texting and calling my kids to say, don't you dare
Yeah.
get it from anyone who's selling it to you.
Yeah.
I will get it. I'll buy it for you.
You're the cool dad buying the weed. Like we had the cool
would
dad buying
go
the
down
booze.
to Miami and here's a pen, here's some weed, here's some gummies, because I know it's
Yeah.
from the state of Ohio. It's legit because I don't want to fucking die.
Even though, I mean, the why we don't have it legalized, I think it's on the ballot. It's a really shitty initiative this year, but I don't think it's going to pass because they suck at actually promoting this. But the tax dollars and the safety of it at this point
The
has
safety
proven is the
the
biggest
key.
thing. So
Safety
if
is
you
the
ever
key.
had someone to say, Ohio's going to have legalized marijuana, you've got to get the right initiative. They don't have it this ballot, which normally I'd be like, yeah, legalize it, like Bob Marley or something. But this one's just not that good.
Good part is that Michigan has it.
Hmm? You know, it's right over the border. You're not
supposed to drive out there and a bunch of get back, but
yeah.
Let's be honest, everyone's doing it.
It's not,
and it's not like they're really clamping down on that.
It just pisses me off that they're making all the tax dollars and making all that money. Look at Detroit and look at Cleveland.
I know.
And look at how much by leaps and bounds. When I used to travel to Detroit, I used to just go see concerts or whatever else. I'd go to Chicago. I'd go to Detroit just to have a hot dog because they have the best conies in the world.
Oh.
Fucking amazing.
By far.
Amazing conies.
There's classic places there.
The Lafayette.
My wife. Yes.
Lafayette.
I've been there. My wife, I love my wife, Mary Beth, is from Detroit.
Excellent.
Birmingham, Bluefields. We go and we go downtown, go to a concert, go to Lafayette. So, I mean, all right, I got to freaking pee again. So we're going to do a pee break.
Pee break, and we're going to come back to
then
hot dogs.
Come back, we're going to talk a little more, and then we're going to see DJ Grandbag.
Yes. Oh boy. Hey everyone, it's Jason. Also known as DJ Grandbag. I'm doing a gig this Saturday at a place called Spotlight Cleveland. And it's a Halloween costume party. I'm doing it with my friend and Cleveland musician G.S. Harper, who's phenomenal. And we throw down every once in a while DJing. We used to DJ a little bit here at a non-existent place anymore called Otis's Cruise Inn. I did Halloween there a couple of years back too, so it was a lot of fun. This time we are Abe Froman and the Sausage Kings. We just came up with that name out of the blue because it's funny. I will be in full kilt, and we're going to do 80s, all 80s. It's going to be amazing, and there's going to be costume contests and all kind of fun stuff going on. So, and I'm excited to spin some of these things that I got here, like, come on, Oingo Boingo's Weird Science Remix. When'd you ever hear that? Never. Wang Chung. Dance Hall Days. It's the remix, too. I didn't know they even did a remix of that. And I can't think of what it sounds like. Modern English. Urban Dance Squad. I know that's 90s. There's some 90s in here, but everyone's going to be fucking drunk, so it won't matter. Jesus Jones. Jesus Jones. This one, come on. C'est la vie, Robbie Neville. George Michael. Club Classic, Hippie Chick. Information Society. Callaway. Fucking Banger. Guilty Pleasure, Taylor Dane. Berlin. ABC. I know, it's Fame 90, and it's an 80s thing. I get it. I understand. Forgive me. Erasure. EMF. The Time. The Bird. And More Information Society. That's just a stack that I picked up recently, so curating is a lot of fun. And I hope to see people from Cleveland out supporting this endeavor. And dude, it's going to be a fucking blast, I swear to God. Do it. Do it if you're in Cleveland. If you're not in Cleveland, I might go live for a little bit just to have fun. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. Peace.
All right. Welcome back from my pee break. And some cold beers now. with DJ Grandbag.
Grandbag.
Who's going to very shortly here kick it. And we were talking about hot dogs, which, again, Detroit has, and they're everywhere.
Yeah,
They're fucking everywhere.
And they're called conies, which I never understood because I thought a coney would be Coney Island.
And
It's not.
They're awesome.
They're amazing.
They're-
Chili dog. It's the best chili dog. The only place that even came close was a place we would go back to drunk, the Hot Dog Inn, over on what was that, Detroit and like off 25th. Adam would always take us.
Steve's Hot Dogs.
Steve's was right next door. Steve was across there, and then there was
down.
I know Steve's burned down. That place was.
I had T-shirts. I would go in there all the time. They get three of their slaw dogs, which is chili, onions, mustard, slaw.
Amazing.
Oh.
People hated when I got the slaw dog. They're like, "Why are you getting a slaw?
It was
That's
the best
disgusting."
thing
I'm like,
in the
"It's the best
world."
thing." So
That
you
was
don't
Drew
understand.
Carey's favorite place.
Yeah, yeah.
And it fucking burnt down.
I know. And that burnt down, and then Hot Dog Inn, which was right next to it. Hot Dog Inn was my favorite because they always had the sign.
Is that still open?
No, they closed it down. I think it was like last year or 2 years ago to put up condos or something like that. So
I love when they cook the dogs. They fry them.
yeah.
And I like them like burnt.
Oh, you got to keep that
Fucking
on a little extra.
Burnt.
Yep. Was that there from yesterday? I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
Because that's how cooked I want my hot dog. I want it
So-
unrecognizable.
Other than that, I don't know what else. Actually, my other favorite chili dog, which I still get a lot, is Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen will make a good chili dog.
Chili, cheese, mustard, onions. I get 2 of those. Onion rings, Diet Coke, and then a Blizzard.
That's a perfect meal.
Fucking Blizzard.
You have everything. You have your dairy content, your protein, your carbohydrate, everything. It's healthy. It's perfect.
I agree.
That's it. But
Fucking A.
but Detroit, you can't beat it, and that's why I love it. You look at that Cleveland versus Detroit thing, the marijuana thing. They said, well, it's coming up, but Detroit's been. No one thought Detroit was going to kick our ass, and Detroit is kind of kicking our ass as far as lakefront development and everything like that. But Cleveland's coming; they're coming around. We're coming around.
They're getting there, but it's taking a while.
And it is. It's been taking 50
So-
years.
Let's talk about the mental
Yeah,
health
man.
issues and how you said DJing saves your life.
So when the anxiety and the depression and everything like that, it's hard for me to function in social situations that are not one-on-one. It's I have to recover from that when I've got 60 because I'm losing hearing over here. I can't hear what the fuck you're saying over here. I could hear you fine over there, but he's loud over here. So it's just one of those things that's overstimulation at points where I just freak out. That's it. So I always say when I do the DJing, and I put on my cape. This is my cape, right? The Grandbag jersey and everything. I put on my. I'm like, I don't know, Nicolas Cage or who was the guy that was in The Machinist? I'm a method actor. I get in that character. It doesn't matter.
And
I'm completely.
you're home.
I'm home.
You're
That's
free.
it. I'm done. So when I started, he had a huge music collection as is, and then, mostly I have vinyl and I do vinyl DJ.
We're gonna do a follow up to this about that shit.
Oh,
And if we can get your
yeah,
friend on, his collection of
it's
vinyl records is astounding. Maybe you can send me some pictures of that tonight.
yeah.
If you
They're
have,
all over the fucking house. I mean,
it's ridiculous, Ted. I'm telling you, and we can put some
yeah.
pictures of that. And
I
then
have-
next one we do,
We just talk about that
we'll
shit.
talk about that.
We're gonna try to get GS on too. GS is my partner when I do some stuff, and that's Saturday. I'm doing like a Halloween show at Spotlight Cleveland. GS is an amazing musician that toured all over the place, Americana, country kind of stuff, just acoustic folk guy. He has the best stories in the world. We could go back and forth. He would one up every single story that I have, I think, because he's just been around longer. So me and GS are doing this gig Saturday, Halloween party.
So let's promote that.
Yeah.
Because I think since Lawrence is our hook source,
Saturday night.
we'll do this one Meets tomorrow, and he's going to play at
Spotlight Cleveland.
At
And
what
I
time?
wish I had the address. I don't. I'm real bad about it. 9 o'clock. It's going to be a Halloween 80s vinyl party.
You know, we'll put that up too.
Oh, because I have
picture
that.
that.
Yeah,
You
I got a
sent me
flyer.
that.
I had that flyer.
Flyer.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
put that up and help promote that. And
It's going to be good. And the promotion's been really good. The bar's been amazing at actually promoting it. And it's going to be either 8 people are going to be there or 800. So it's one of those things I'm like, I can't fucking tell. I think everyone's going to come to this or no one's going to come to it.
well,
So it is what it is. But- and I don't care.
I
either
could
way.
possibly. I may make it.
If you come up, that's
and
great.
especially when we from my brother-in-law TR may come in, and he's a music junkie,
That's amazing. That'll be great.
and he goes to concerts all over the country. I hope he comes in and we'll say we're going.
We're going. We're going to go do it. And
he can watch this and say you can go see DJ Grandbag.
You're going to see the one and only. The
Yes.
one and only. And again, I think that I do have a fan base and I am popular. And when people come out and see, oh, he's actually playing. The one thing about it is there's the horrible anxiety leading up to said show.
Do you still have it leading up
Yeah,
to it?
fuck yeah, absolutely. and I won't do like people they'll come out and see me and I got business cards, I got all this shit, and everyone wants me to come out and do things, and they always ask like, would you do my wedding? Would you do this? I'm like, fuck no. I will never do a wedding. So
Really?
when the girls get ready to get married, no, I can't do it because the amount of pressure that goes into a wedding and wedding planning and doing all that stuff. I've got a lot of stuff. So you're talking about collection. I probably have 2,000 LPs alone. So it's probably a little more than 2,000 LPs.
That's so cool.
45s, another 2,000. So it's a lot. It's a lot, and I might be lowballing it. I have no idea.
Made a big comeback.
Yeah, absolutely, huge.
Isn't there someone in Cleveland that actually makes the?
Yeah, Gotta Groove Records is huge. They're off of 55th and over by where I can't remember where they're at. I'm sorry, Gotta Groove. You guys are awesome. I love you. Thank you so much for all you do. They've always helped me. I run a vinyl group called Northeast Ohio Vinyl Club. 3,000 people in the group that just follow around for records and everything like that.
And if you have information on that,
yeah, I got stuff on that.
you
too.
can send me pictures of. We'll put that up too.
We do record shows, and COVID kind of absolutely fucked us on that because we started at the Happy Dog, and it was probably 30 people show up with a few crates of records, trading records and selling records, and it went to the concert hall at the Winchester over in Lakewood, and we kept on outgrowing spaces, and we would have more people that would come to the record shows on a Sunday when there was a Browns game going on than they would get for normal concerts. Then COVID hit, and then we got fucked, and it never came back. And I think it's part of the reason that it didn't come back is because I got burnt, and that's part of the anxiety of everything. Imagine me as a DJ when I'm DJing, and there's 100 people around. I'm back there. I'm not listening to you. I don't care. You can come up, request a song or anything, but I'm in my domain back there.
Yeah.
So it's character actor. It's the method actor that say, you know what? I'm done being me. I'm done being Jason. I'm Grandbag up there, and I'm putting on the show. So
when you get that mode,
yeah,
you feel
I'm fucking Jesus.
fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it's something to behold when I get up there and you get a good groove and people are getting into it.
Well, I'm definitely gonna go to some shows. I'm gonna try and go Saturday. I get some. I don't drive.
No, exactly. Get someone to get
I
you
gotta bring
your
my
butt out.
new portable wheelchair. Go there and can you give me some good crib seats up?
Right. No,
right
absolutely,
up by the-
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm
So
with my boy DJ Grandbag and his
that's it. And I only do things
Crip in
anymore.
the Grandbag.
That's it. This is my man. This is my man right here. He's VIP, motherfucker. Sit right by the speaker, and you'll be like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't do I won't do weddings, and people will ask all the time, "Well, you do?" I'm like, "No, I can't." I mean, because that's the most important day. You're getting married, and I'm fucking up there, and I'm the one responsible for this shit. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't do that. But I could sit there and play music, and I think music changed my life to the fact of doing this. I started doing it, and the best thing in the world was I had the biggest scam running at the Ironwood when I would DJ. So I would get paid $150. And I don't care. The money, I've always had decent jobs, and it's never been about making money doing this stuff. It's always been the experience and hanging out and doing stuff. So I get $150
helping
me clear my freaking head. It
get
always
through life.
Because you hear a song, you hear that song, and you just click.
Yeah.
And you could be in your headphones, and it can help you work out. It can help you meditate. It can help you get in the right state of mind. And that's why music's so important. So $150, 50% off the tab. All the guys would come out. So everyone would come out, and I would put everything on my tab. I would put everything, and I would ask the waitress, I'm like, what am I at? Am I at 300? Dude, you're over. Yeah. You're over at this point. So
you actually lose money.
I'd be like, all right, you owe us $20.
But you had a fucking great time.
That was it. So it was always fun. And then
all the boys too.
All the boys would come out, and they would drink really well, and we would have a good time. But yeah, dude, I can't tell you now. And like I said, this is the first paid gig I've done in a long time, because most of the gigs I do will be for charity. And that's it. I said, I don't want, give me some beers and food if I want it, or whatever you have. I don't want money. I want you to give money to charity. So we would fund micro charities in Cleveland, like Waterloo Alley Cats. I think we did a few dog charities and stuff like that. People that are on shoestrings that could use, $150 or whatever the hell I charge, give it to the cats or give it to the dogs or give it to something else. And I think I did one at Chatty's Pizza over in Bay, and we donated that to Bobby's scholarship fund. So I don't want money doing this.
I saw that. Well, I'm going to start, because I'm getting out now because I can't.
Absolutely.
After years of not being able to get out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be your
That's
fan.
It. That's it. The number
Sitting
one
next
fan.
to you.
Play this motherfuckers. But yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's fun to do, and it's leading up. Again, like I said, there's the anxiety and everything with these shows that we were doing. There were 250, 300 people there trying to talk to me about this, doing press for stuff. Fuck that. I mean, that's the other thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll do an interview over the phone. How's that sound? They had me on, I was on like Fox 8 or something like that at one point too, when we were doing a charity gig for dog charity. And I think we were doing something. I was like, yeah, I'll go on TV. I don't know how I'm going to do. It was a Halloween thing. And I was dressed up. I was doing Miami Vice the next day. So I dressed up as like a total cop with the white suit on and everything. And I looked like a complete pimp. So it was amazing. But I had shaved my mustache, or I shaved my beard at that point, and I just had the mustache. I looked like Ned Flanders with a fucking faux hawk. So, and I'm sitting there looking at myself on TV, completely horrified. I'm like, I look like an asshole. This is amazing. But we raised over $1,000 for like a 7 months or something like that.
It was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. So now it's like, because when it becomes a job, I already got one of those. When it becomes a job, it's not fun anymore, and it's not helping anymore, and it's adding stress and everything. When I do it just because, dude, it's the best feeling in the world. And if you're doing it to help a cause, it's the best feeling in the world.
Which is awesome, because that's what this podcast has become for me, to help others. And the feedback I'm getting is it's helping. So now I want to do it more, and do it more, and do it more.
Well, it's getting out the message that there's hope to everything,
and it's what brought us together closer. We always knew each other.
Yeah.
Now we've become boys, and
we're boys.
This shit is gonna get deep. So
absolutely,
now's a good time to hear DJ Grandbag.
We're gonna do it. Let's do it.
Let's hear it.
We gotta watch these shorts because they're gonna ride up on.
Yeah, well, mine are riding too. What song are we gonna hear?
We're gonna do. And this is the beauty of doing this. I'll sit down for one more second. The beauty of doing this is discovering new music. So this is shit that I found. Yeah. So found sounds of stuff. And what do I DJ? Everyone asks, what do you do? I'm like, I do a little bit of everything, but my specialty is I could do 80s. Mostly I'm doing the 80s thing, but I love funk and soul from fucking New Orleans. And that's what this is.
I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. All right, here we go. DJ Grandbag. Kick it.
Kick it. All right, let's see if we're ready. already.
All right.
This fucking thing probably went on standby.
That's all right.
There we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
And I love this click. I love that pop. I love that hiss.
Here we go.
Never met a boy who makes me feel the way that you do. Whenever I'm asked, it makes my dreams real. I say that you do. So please cry, have fun. Goodbye, baby. Oh, here I come. Not crazy,
Hey, get up, brothers! Don't sit there with your head hanging down. Hey, get up, brothers! I know the ghetto got you down. But there's something I want to say to you. Hey, get up, brothers! Do anything if that's good to you. Yeah, man!
Grandbag. Look at that logo on the front here.
I know. I told her I wouldn't get it done, but it's like,
Hey, you brother over there! Come on, man! Get out of your chair! And bring the fire sister with you, too! Get out of the floor and show me what you can do!
Hell yes. Hell fucking yes.
What?
DJ Grandbag. My God, was that cool?
I didn't know what I'm talking about.
Oh no, I'll come back over here.
Oh, let me go back in my seat.
Oh my Lord, was that awesome.
So it's fun, man.
Ooh,
So-
holy shit, was
I
that
think
cool.
that was the shit that you never heard before. You find whipping
love
through
that.
45s and stuff like
How
that.
they,
I'm like,
that beat and the groove. I mean,
just keep on. And
I
that's it.
I love music, and
it's fun. It's fun.
It's so eclectic of everything.
And that's what everyone says too when I do this. When I do the
Can you grab me one?
yeah, I do the Mardi Gras kind of thing every year. Try to find a place to do Mardi Gras. Cleveland sucks at Mardi Gras, by the way. So it's hard to find a place to play. I'm like, I do traditional. I do New Orleans. Like I'll do brass band shit and everything else that will fit into a mix. And people are like, well, what the fuck? What are we gonna do on Mardi Gras? Why are we gonna do Mardi? I'm like, I don't care, dude. You have a fucking polka festival, for crying out loud. Do a Mardi Gras thing. We used to do really good when we had Fat Fish Blue here, and they always had a Mardi Gras party. But
I love that place.
every year I'll find somewhere. I don't care if it's for brunch for like 3 people or whatever. I'll do a Mardi Gras thing because I love discovering that New Orleans music. So brass band stuff and the funk and the soul and everything, dude. Everything that came out of there that I found from the 70s, 60s, and 70s. That's all what that shit is. Phenomenal. And then you just mix in some cool shit with it.
Now your biggest fan because that was fucking awesome. So
I'm telling you, and I'm what
gonna
I was going to tell you what I was going to do for you. As long as it's not a wedding, next year when we do the fundraiser, I'll donate 3 hours.